Hello and welcome to another edition of Currently in Quincy. I'm Joe Catalano, and on today's program we will learn all about South Shore Support Services Special Needs Daycare Service in Weymouth. First, though, we check out weather and news for you. Currently in Quincy, some light snow falling. It's 33 degrees. As we await our nor'easter, the snow will pick up this afternoon. So will the wind, gusting to 40 knots at times. The snow will be heavy through the early evening hours and then change over to rain late tonight. Temperatures will stay pretty steady into the lower 30s. Snow and rain will continue overnight. Total accumulations right now here in the South Shore area expected to be anywhere from 8 to 10 inches by tomorrow morning. Still could have some snow showers around tomorrow as well. Temperatures in the mid 30s. Still a chance for some flurries here on Wednesday. A little milder. Highs Wednesday in the upper 30s. Looks like Thursday is going to be a pretty nice day. Partly sunny, and highs Thursday near 40 degrees. But again, some light snow, 33 in Quincy right now. In the news today, a snow emergency does go into effect at noon today here in Quincy. Parking will be banned on all of the posted main roadways and allowed on the even-numbered side of side streets only. The new parking garage in Quincy Center will be open during the snowstorm with a maximum daily fee of $12. The DPW's snow hotline will also be open during the storm for any snow-related emergencies. You can call 617-376-1927. And for any power-related issues, call National Grid at 1-800-465-1212. For any flood-related assistance, please call 617-376-1910. Well, beginning tomorrow, Quincy residents aged 75 and older can schedule a COVID-19 vaccination. Mayor Thomas Koch has announced that the city is teaming up with Mannett Community Health Center to run that vaccination clinic at 180 Old Colony Avenue. That's where Mannett had been running a COVID testing site. Now, Koch says residents can call or go online to schedule their vaccinations.
You can call 617-376-1470 to set up a time, an appointment to get vaccinated with Mannett Health. So we are putting together the city, the call center, to help Mannett coordinate and facilitate these appointments. Now, we also have a website, www.quincyma.gov. You can also go to that. Both the number and the website would be after Tuesday at 9 o'clock is when we'll be starting this program. Now, please be patient, because as you know, if you've been following the news, it's not so much getting the vaccinations in the arm, it's getting the vaccinations in hand to distribute them. And they come from the federal government to the state, and then they're distributed to municipalities throughout the Commonwealth. So as we get our allotments, we'll be taking care of people. This first group is 75 years and older. So unless you're 75 or older, please do not call at this time. This is part of the phasing that's going on right now. This is the beginning of phase 2, 75 years and older.
Koch is urging people to have patience because he says there is a limited supply of vaccines. However, he expects the supply to increase over time. And Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center is also expected to open a COVID vaccination clinic at the State Street South complex in North Quincy soon. State Representative Tacky Chan of Quincy says the Quincy residents and Beth Israel patients will be given priority at that location. Well, tonight is newly appointed Quincy Ward 2 Councilor Anthony Andronico's first meeting in his new position. Andronico was appointed by the City Council to replace former Ward 2 Councilor Brad Kroll, who resigned after 9 years on the council. Andronico says he is looking forward to getting right to work.
Thank you to everyone that stepped forward to represent Ward 2. And some of the best qualities of Ward 2 are displayed in each candidate. And it's one of the things that I love about this community is that there's no shortage of people that are willing to step up to help others. And I know that each and every one of them would do a fantastic job over the next year. And I look forward to working with them next year to help them and make sure that we get the job done for the people of Ward 2. And I look forward to working with my future colleagues on the City Council to advocate for the needs of people of Ward 2.
Andronico has stepped down from his position on the school committee and has been sworn in as a city councilor. Mayor Thomas Koch will now call a joint meeting between the city council and school committee to fill Andronico's seat. Koch says he'll nominate Courtney Perdios, who ran for school committee in 2019. 3 more police officers are being welcomed to the Quincy Police Department. Charles Waterman, David Flynn, and James Dalton are now on the force. Waterman served in the U.S. Army for 3 years. Flynn worked 5 years with the Norfolk County Sheriff's Department, and Dalton worked for the TSA before joining the QPD. In all, 15 new officers have joined the Quincy force over the past month. Interfaith Social Services of Quincy recently elected new officers and voted in new board members to their board of directors. Board member Gabe Arado, Strategy and Business Development Manager for Boston Children's Hospital Simulator Program, has been named the president of the board for the next 2 years. Arado, from Quincy, has been on the board at Interfaith since 2013. Previously, he worked at Blue Cross Blue Shield of Massachusetts. And 2 new board members were also voted: Anna Marie Keneally from Quincy and Rhonda Prokos from Sharon. Finally, a local Girl Scout troop is being recognized for their efforts to help people in need during the pandemic. The Derby Academy Girl Scout troop and their leader, Heather Ward, contributed to the South Shore YMCA's Holiday Assistance Program recently. And members of the troop collected food, gifts, and other essentials for the Wise clientele, and also contributed Girl Scout cookies to the Wise Food Pantry at the Germantown Neighborhood Center in Quincy. Ward said that the mission helped the girls connect with their community and feel that they helped those in need. The Wise said that they were grateful to the Derby Academy Scouts and that they should be proud of their accomplishments. Coming up, we will learn about the special needs daycare program in Weymouth called South Shore Support Services. That's next.
Hey, Massachusetts, what do you want to get back to?
Giving hugs, seeing my friends.
Taking my wife dancing.
I want to get back to taking my kids on play dates.
I want to get back to Fenway.
I want to get back to partying.
We've worked hard, but we're not there yet. So we still need to wear a mask that covers your nose and mouth. Keep our distance, at least 6 feet apart. And get tested. It's free and available. We can get back masks. Learn how at mass.gov/getback.
I hear someone go, "Didn't it come from you guys?"
Strangers cough at me.
Move away from me.
Someone spit towards my direction.
All the stereotypes that we've worked so hard to break are just going to be reversed. And I won't let that happen.
We all have to play our part.
I donate my plasma.
I've been making masks.
We deserve respect as much as everybody else.
I'm a firefighter, not a virus.
I'm a mask maker, not a virus.
I'm a nurse.
I'm a delivery woman, chef,
A neighbor. Artist.
Bus driver.
I'm a doctor.
Fight the virus. Fight the virus.
Podcasting 101. Create your own podcast using the QATV audio suite. Learn the basics of the audio board, how to take phone calls, and add music from a CD, SD card, or your phone. Participants will also learn interview skills to help get the most out of your guest. To register for a session, email Carol Themin at cthemin@qatv.org or call 617-376-1440.
Now more than ever, we need to do our part to prevent the spread of illnesses like the flu. Getting a flu shot will lower the chances of a serious illness and help keep you and your loved ones out of the hospital. Now's the time. Get your flu shot today.
I would definitely consider it to be a sign of strength to be able to reach out and get the help that you need.
Substance Use Helpline, Kathy speaking. May I help you?
So today in the program, we're going to learn about an organization called South Shore Support Services in Weymouth. And Renee McCorkle and Kim Moy are joining us to give us a little information and let you know how you might be able to utilize their services. So Renee, Kim, welcome to both of you. Really appreciate the chance to talk to you.
Thank you. We appreciate you guys having us here. Thanks a lot.
Renee, honestly, I had never heard of South Shore Support Services before I was made aware of it, and I know you've been around for a while now, right? Tell us a little bit about this.
I've actually will be around in July for over 20 years that I've worked for South Shore Support Services. So to give you a little history of South Shore Support Services, it actually has been around since September of 1995, and there were two women that were the co-founders of the organization. It's Mary Burt, and she has a son with special needs from the Scituate area, and her co-partner was Jeannie Hamilton, that just had a passion for working with individuals with disabilities. So their philosophy is to provide services to all individuals, like one individual at a time. So, and that actually philosophy still stands today. So when we kind of meet with families, we talk about what their needs and passions are, and we really try to help them develop them. So our organization's a pretty small one compared to, like VinFin and all those other ones. So we've actually really kind of will do pretty much anything what the family needs. And our Family Support Center has been around since July of 2010. So we're actually on our second DDS contract. So it's really been exciting that we had just got awarded this contract in December 31st of last year. So we were excited to renew our contract for another 10 years. So what we do is all our referrals are coming from the Department of Developmental Services. But one thing about South Shore Support Services, that because it's a community center, that we actually will help any families that need assistance with applying for DDS services. We can help them with applying for food stamps, for guardianship, pretty much any of the public benefits that they need, even if they're not in our catchment area. That's kind of my philosophy, because that's what we're here for. We're here to help the community. And if whatever we can do to make a family's life a little bit easier, we're there for them. So that's kind of what we do, kind of someone in a little nutshell.
Okay, so is it more than just people with developmental disabilities?
Yes, we also take care of people who has like Down syndrome. We have like centers that would enhance their like social skills and community. We have like programs for them to enhance friendship. Things like that.
Okay. How do people, connect with South Shore Support Services? How do you find folks to help? How do they find you to get help?
So ideally is the best avenue a lot is the school system. So when individuals are going through the special ed department, is the schools should be kind of referring them to us, especially when they're going through their transition. So if they came from early intervention and they're starting, their child in kindergarten or preschool, that might be a way for schools to tell them, hey, go apply for DDS services. And then especially when they're actually in their transition, when they're turning like 18, there's this thing called 688 that the school system has to send DDS or other public benefits that a child might be needing, that they can be coming to South Shore Support, because what they have to do at the age of 18 or 22, they have to apply again for DDS services as an adult. So that's a way. And then whatever kind of information we can give to other organizations. My staff actually does a lot of outreach, somewhat before the pandemic, like dropping off our information to, libraries, medical centers, anywhere that we could find that we were dropping off our information to.
Okay, so who is your staff, Renee? Who are the folks of South Shore Support Services?
So I actually have 6 family support, is 7 family support coordinators. And I have 2 family support coordinators that work with individuals with intensive family supports. So they actually have a total of 22 kids that are ages 3 years old up until 21 years old. And those are kids that have some behavior challenges, or they could have financial challenges, or just challenges with a caregiver that might be having medical issues. And that services, they're all RDDS referrals, but those kids are a little bit more intensive. So they might require more supports during the couple of months of when they're in that service. So it could be as little as 3 and sometimes as many as 10 or 12, which is quite a lot for one family to receive through DDS.
And do they come to you at the Family Center in Weymouth, or do you go to their homes?
We pretty much, again, will do whatever the family is needing. So we typically do is, the process works is once DDS will send me a referral, I will contact the family, do a little telephone interview, or if I have time, I will go out to the family home, meet the family, meet the individual. Then I go back to the center, and then I meet with my staff and kind of go over what the criteria are that the family is looking for and just do a match. And then I go out with the family support coordinator and just talk a little bit more of what we're going to be doing, how we're going to be doing it, and things like that. So we pretty much, again, will go anywhere wherever the family is needing us. So if it's family feels like they need a break from their child, then a lot of times the family support coordinator maybe will take the child out in the community, or if they have, other things they want to work on, because we do like cooking skills in our center with some of the kids, we'll go back and do that, kind of, again, whatever they need.
Okay.
And I'm also their interpreter if they don't understand the English language. So I have, I can understand the Mandarin, but I cannot speak it. But I have 2 dialects. I understand Cantonese and Taiwanese. So I'm helping people who don't know the English to transfer the information of what need to be done. And if they still needs a translator, like to go to Social Security to apply, I try to convert them in the form into their language. And to make sure that they understand, I make sure that they said they would understand in English and Chinese. So and for later on, I don't have to help them, but they know what needs to be done for the next time to repeat the application.
Okay, yeah, it's important, certainly here in Quincy and parts of the South Shore with large Asian populations. So, Kim, you are a family support coordinator, right? You are part of that team. Yeah.
Yes, I started. This is my 3rd year, I think, Renee. Mm-hmm. 3rd year. I can't remember.
Yes.
I first started out as administrator, and then that phased out. And so them letting me go, Renee McCorporal said, we need Kim in our unit. So I was transferred to her, and I've been following her and do a little bit. And letting my clients that I'm taking care of. I take them out to the community. I take them to doctor's office. Mm-hmm. I be there if, for counseling, learn on the way to make sure I go the guideline through the DDS, services that they rate for us in our company.
Yeah. So, Kim, what's it been like to do all that during a pandemic? I mean, that must be
very difficult, because every week I contact with clients that I have that I used to have and tell them what we have, and making sure that they come to our session. We have like Zoom sessions for them that will enhance them so they will be more of the community and not be isolated. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to promote more of this, like Renee said, to go to the library, Asian, especially in the Asian population in Quincy, to the library, to whatever, to a Quincy Association, to put our information for them, to let them know that, if they need extra people, we're willing to help the extra people that they can't reach to, like an outreach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Renee, is the actual family center open now during this COVID time, or no?
Yes. Yeah. We actually really haven't closed. So Myself and all the staff members have really done an outstanding job during the whole pandemic. I mean, we had DDS because of being a state agency, they really had to close down. So we were actually the go-to people to help families with food shopping, getting gift cards, getting possibly to medical appointments, or making whatever arrangements we could to help the families. And we actually got a lot of funding through DDS to help families buy like laptops, iPads, anything like that. So we were, working completely through the pandemic. So we haven't stopped.
It's critical services, even more so now than ever, I'm sure. It must be
Right.
must be rewarding for both of you to feel that you're having a direct impact on these families.
It is. It's very rewarding. And I can say I actually got in the field because I do have my own child with special needs. He's 22-year-old. And I felt when he left early intervention, the best way for me to figure out what he needed was to get into the field. So that's how I got into South Shore Support Services. So because prior to that, I was in the medical field. So.
Yeah, and I'm also have two childs on the disability, who has disability. So it's a knowledge for me to learn more and give people back what I already experienced already, and to relate with them how they're going through and how to make it easier for them to cope and to find a way to solve some of the solution.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of concern, as you're both aware of, kids not being in the classroom enough, to have that one-on-one interpersonal connection with their peers and with their teachers as well. So, and the long-term effects right now are still unknown, obviously, because we're still going through it. So to be able to have, some, I think, public connection through South Shore Support Services is a comfort, I'm sure, for them and for their families too. Is there an age limit, Renee, for people to receive your services?
No. Nope. We've had as young as, I think, 8 months old, and our oldest right now, I think, is 89.
Wow. Okay.
And so we get the whole gamut. Right now, just to give you an idea, is South Shore Support has a contract with DDS for over like 387 people right now are on my list. And we actually have different kind of supports. So we have all those people should be receiving is information and referral services, but we have some families that might require a little bit more supports. So what DDS calls is extended navigation, just like another name for case management. And that's where we are in the houses doing the supports for the family. So as I said previously, we have 22 people that are receiving intensive family supports. And then the other after 22 and up receive is extended navigation. And those are probably right now about 60 to 70 people right now that we have on our caseloads that each family support coordinator has a handful of them to provide supports.
Oh, okay. What kind of training do the family support coordinators have, to be able to do this work?
So is typically when they're hired, they actually have to have at least a high school diploma or higher. But we are requiring a lot of more behavioral we call experience, because we're getting a lot more challenging individuals into the Family Support Center. So we actually go through we have a thing called safety care, which is hands-on supports to teach the family support coordinators, how to positively kind of redirect an individual if him or her are having a difficult time. And then we have is a new thing that DDS has picked up, which is a great tool that we've been working with. It's called Charting the Life Course, and it's a tool that we're using to help families identify what their child's strengths and weaknesses, and how do we help them develop those weaknesses to make them the positives. So it's a nice tool that we do. And we just do a lot of, a lot of online trainings to have the staff before they start working with families. Yeah. And they pretty much will shadow a senior coordinator for about 2 months or so before they're out on their own.
Okay. And is there a cap in the amount of services or the time of services that someone can receive?
No. Okay. So the only cap we have is the intensive. They pretty much will stay in the intensive family supports for 6 months to a year. So they will maybe come off for like everything's going well for 6 months, and then, unfortunately something might happen again, then they can go back into that service. But it's kind of like a rolling service on the intensive family supports.
Sure. Kim, do you have maybe obviously not naming names, but kind of a favorite story about you helping somebody or a family through a crisis, to the other side?
Well, we're starting one that was from Renee. We have like this toy named it's a squirrel, and we make a toy story out of it. Like this squirrel goes with this kid going to the hospital, and make a story time about this and bringing it into the Facebook. So that's one of the stuff that kids like.
Yeah.
They say, "Oh, can I have one of that toy with me?" Every time. It's like it's encouragement. It's making them not afraid of the surrounding. And then we have their point of view, and we put it in like a little story for them to look up in the Facebook, and then they say, "Oh, that's something similar to what I'm doing. Yeah, I relate to that." So it's nice to encourage family, up front and doing the best we can for them, and so far we have nothing but good results. Everybody was giving us like thank you letters, and, we're very grateful, you out of your way to help us on this situation. So, it's rewarding. It's actually rewarding. I'm learning a little bit more on this job. And, it's like there's so much opportunity out there for this company. I can be like a ABA specialist, because they, like Renee said, online. We have online training to show you what needs to be done. And you can also go to a sample. I'd be going to Massasoit online to do some kind of special need course that I can take to help further me to this company, to help more other people to relate what's going on.
Sure. Yeah, everybody grows, right?
Right.
Your client, your employees, and the family too. People feel like they're making progress, and that they matter.
Mm-hmm. They do.
Family, all our family matters very much for us.
Sure.
Right.
It has to be very personal. You have to be very committed and patient in this field to be able to see and help the other family that needed us most.
Yeah. Renee, you mentioned DDS several times. Maybe if you could just explain for folks what DDS is actually.
So DDS is the Department of Developmental Services. So
So a state agency.
It is a state agency, correct? Yes. So
Okay.
that's how you pretty much. So usually the typical process is if once the child has been diagnosed with a developmental disability or autism, then usually the recommendation is to fill out an application with other additional information, and you go through an intake process, and it takes about a good 4 to 5 months to get through the whole process between starting the application, doing an interview with the intake coordinator at DDS, and then getting the approval or denial. So it does take some time, but it definitely is worth it, because it does have a lot of good resources to help out our families.
Yeah. How is South Shore Support Services funded, and how do your clients pay for your service?
So again, everything is funded by, so we contract, so we're a provider agency for DDS. So our agency, like I said, we actually just did the contract just recently and got awarded the Family Support Center again. So there is, on the South Shore area, there are another family support center in the Randolph area. So there's 2 in South Coastal area, and there are other ones in the surrounding towns like Brockton and Hanover and other towns like that. So
Okay. Or you mentioned a catchment area, so if they're not in yours, they would be in the other ones.
Correct. But again, like I said, if they're not in our catchment area and they're coming to for help with applications for Mass Health or DDS or whatever else, I have no problem helping the families or talking to them on the phone and giving that information. And, again, I always encourage myself and my staff is, if someone calls for help, let's help them. You know, that's what we're here for. We're not here just to say, oh, sorry, wrong area, like, and move them along. That's not what we are about.
Sure.
We're here to support our families.
Yeah, this is a good chance to ask you, how do folks reach out to South Shore Support Services?
So the best way is to actually, you can contact our Family Support Center, and you can reach us by phone at 781-331-7878. And actually my extension is extension 11. And then also you could email us at South Shore Support, SOShoreSupport.org is our website, and you can look that up, and then we do have all the other extensions and other supports we do. Because we also have South Shore Support, we also have contracts with DDS for individual supports, and we have group homes. We have our agency with Choice, so that's another contract with DDS, and then we have the Mass Health Program is the Adult Family Care Program, or called AFC. Okay. So it's there is other opportunities for our families to have other supports. So.
Okay, I know, yeah, you have some group homes here in Quincy, I know, and
yes.
surrounding areas as well, sure. Now, those obviously have been a challenge during the pandemic as well, I'm sure.
Yes, it's been very challenging for my executive director, Mary Burt. So it's, God bless her, because it's been a hard, with a lot of our homes have been tested positive for the coronaviruses. So to get through it, it's been a lot for her.
Sure, and now you'll have to handle their vaccination too, right? And
right.
Moving forward, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Anything else that you think should add right now, ladies?
So one thing I do want to say is a kind of a big shout out to all my family support coordinators. So to let you know, for New Year's Eve, we actually put together little baskets for all our families. So we actually, all the family support coordinators and myself actually physically delivered baskets with coffee mugs, cocoa and popcorn and little things. And we actually did like a Happy New Year's Eve, and we showed a movie, and we saw a movie called Happy New Year's Eve, and it was really cute. But everyone went out above and beyond, and we delivered baskets to all our families, like I said, all 380 something of them. So that was a big thing to do. And we're doing it again for Valentine's Day. We're going to be passing out backpacks.
Very nice. Something that
has all our information in it. Yeah. So we're really excited. Like I said, we have an amazing crew of young ladies that work for me. So I'm really blessed that, they're really good. They're really good at what they do.
That's wonderful. Anything else, Kim?
No, she said it all.
Well, I really appreciate the opportunity to learn about this organization. I was not familiar with it before it was brought to my attention. So I'm hoping that folks that are watching this are also finding out about it for the first time, and will reach out if they feel they can benefit or maybe support. Kim, are there ways to support South Shore Support Services, either financially or with volunteer opportunities?
We do have people who volunteers. We had like a recent a student who is, I think he's from, he graduated from Massasoit or something, and he comes every summer to help us out. And he's wonderful with kids, and they remember him for some reason. Say, "Oh, you came in last year. Oh, I remember you." So he likes our company. He likes to volunteer, do it every summer, and it's a good resume for him, because then he can use it, for him to continue with special education or to teacher aid or something like that. So, yes.
Sure, very good.
Yeah. So if anybody is interested in, donating, we actually do, on our website, again, there's a place that you can click that you can donate to any part of South Shore Support Services. So, and we do also do once a year is our golf tournament. And I got to say, majority of that funding is always put back to the Family Support Center, to individual supports. Yeah. So it's really nice that we're able to, do that tournament and get funding for the centers. And so it's good.
Good. Something to look forward to. All right.
Yeah.
Appreciate your time, Renee and Kim. Very great to talk to you both. Really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you very
for
much
your
again.
time.
We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Bye-bye.
You're welcome.
Have a good
Bye-bye.
one.
Yeah, you too now.
Bye.
Stay healthy.
Bye.
You too.
Checking the forecast for you once again for the rest of today. Snow and winds will be increasing throughout the afternoon. The conditions will deteriorate towards this evening with blowing snow and temperatures in the low to mid 30s. Eventually, snow changes over to rain late tonight, not before anywhere from 8 to 10 inches of accumulation right here on the South Shore area. Could be a lingering snow shower tomorrow. Still cloudy, still windy too, with highs tomorrow only in the low to mid 30s. Still a chance for a flurry or a snow shower Wednesday. Shouldn't be any accumulations as Wednesday in the upper 30s. And Thursday looks pretty nice, partly sunny and a high 40 degrees. Thanks again going out to Kim Moy and Renee McCorkle for joining us today. Thank you to our crew and thank you for watching. And a reminder, please do participate in the Quincy COVID Memories Project. Share your life experiences here in Quincy during the pandemic by going to quincyculturalmemory.com or sending your submissions to the Thomas Crane Library, attention, local history, 40 Washington Street, Quincy, 02169. And as always, please do visit our website. Go to qatv.org. You'll find our latest programs, news and information, video on demand, live streaming, information about online classes, and much more. For all of us here at Quincy Access Television, I'm Joe Catalano. Please stay safe.